This is a big budget week for the state. Democrats say it's got to be done this week, Thursday specifically, or it's just not going to happen before October 1st. And if that's the case, the governor will make draconian cuts that we just can't live with. And I'm dying to live with draconian cuts. I want to see how that works out. But alas, that's code for this is the pressure point we've been looking for to bring everybody together and make sure that we can twist the arms of Democrats and force through a budget that nobody will like. To discuss it with us is Representative Rob Sampson. He's a Republican, and he is head of the Conservative Caucus, which is pretty cool. So this is a conservative guy who's conservative. Rob, welcome back to WTIC.
Good afternoon, Todd. Glad to be with you.
Nice to talk with you. So describe any of this that stands out to you in terms of what the Democrats are going to do, what Republicans are doing in response to the whole shebang.
Well, I've been listening to the show all afternoon, and I heard the Senate and House Republican leaders come on and do a very good job of explaining the failures of the current administration and the majority Democrats and how they have run our state's finances into a ditch, over the last 10 years at least that I've been in office, and that they've done it all without any cooperation from Republicans, without ever receiving any Republican votes for the budgets and tax increases that they have put forward.
Which is kind of nice that they admitted that, huh?
Right, and it's funny to listen to them talk about how we are somehow the bad guys because we wouldn't cooperate in that damage. And today we're talking about the next iteration of a Democrat budget that will raise taxes and exacerbate our financial problems. And they're concerned that we're not cooperating yet again. But surprise, surprise, you're not going to get me to vote for more taxes, and a lot of my colleagues as well.
Which is, I think, music to many ears driving home right now, and gratified to hear that Republicans will stand up if they can and stop Democrats. But really, Democrats could do this on their own. What do you think the chances are of that?
You know, it's one of those things that I will have to see it to believe it. I don't know that the situation is any different now than it has been since the start of the legislative session. We've known for a long time we were going to have a huge budget deficit. We've known for a long time that there's going to be a difficult budget vote. And the Democrats have known that they have very slim majorities to work with and have not been able to come up with a product that satisfies all of their individual members. Between you and me, I don't know what's different today versus months ago, except for the fact that there is this impending doom of the government having to make their funding payments to the towns for education. And if we stick with what the governor has proposed to do, it's going to be, very, very damaging. Nonetheless, I don't know that that's enough to force various Democrat entities to get together on a product.
Well, it does seem to be the case that they haven't been able to get together yet, and they're still trying to figure it out. And Senator Fasano said it's not even that they're trying to get the Democratic members on the same page, but leadership has not yet agreed on the Democratic side for exactly what they want to do.
Right. The Senate Democrats have yet to put forward any budget product whatsoever. And the House Democrats, I could almost say the same thing about them. They've put out various ideas and documents, but they've never put forward a full budget. In fact, the budget that they supposedly are bringing out on Thursday, that's going to become the future of Connecticut, is not even available anywhere.
So this is fascinating. If you're if what you're laying out is what's going to happen, it's fun to think about Democrats not being able to get everybody to agree to a tax hike. It's also fun, I think, as I alluded to in your intro, to think about actually letting the process play out. Is it really so scary to let the governor do his executive order, or would that be beneficial to the state?
I think it might be beneficial in some areas, but what would happen to the small towns who have become so reliant on education funding in particular would be drastic and very damaging to the middle class, the hardworking taxpayers in the state that actually make Connecticut work and are the number one reason why the state is facing the problems they are is the burden placed on those people. The people that live in the district that I serve, Wolcott and Southington, a lot of middle-income folks who are already paying a significant amount in property taxes compared to the rest of the country. And if you go ahead and put an increased burden by taking away education funding that the town relies on,
yep,
that's only going to cause the town government to force property taxes even higher. And that cannot benefit anyone as far as their home values or their desire to stay in the state. So I think that's a big no-no. We have to maintain the funding to the towns. Phase it out over time, sure, I can understand that. But what the governor has proposed to do is drastic. And worse than just cutting the small towns, he's going to take that revenue and he's going to be spending it in the big cities.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. Got to hold you right there. Appreciate you jumping in and helping out. Representative Rob Sampson on WTIC.